All right, to get a little more perspective on this, we bring in First Take Stephen A. Smith. You know, Stephen, let's go back a couple years when LeBron went to Miami. It shook up the entire league. It surprised some when he went back to Cleveland. This move to L.A., a lot of people expected for quite some time. But having said that, what does this move say about the current state of the NBA?
Well, it just said, you know, people can look at it and they could lament the lack of parity because all the best players seem to be in the Western Conference. There's no doubt about that. It's one of those things that will prompt discussion as to whether or not the commissioner needs to revisit seedings in the playoffs instead of having 8 teams in the East, 8 teams in the West. Just do 1 to 16 and get it over with so we can have some semblance of competition. But I really don't care about that right now. I'm from the streets of New York City, the big city, the bright lights and what have you. L.A. is obviously the second largest market in the country. Chicago being third, and between those 3 cities there are 5 NBA teams, and not a single one of them made the playoffs this past season. That's simply not good as far as I'm concerned. That doesn't mean that the NBA can't thrive without those guys in the postseason. Clearly Golden State being in the mix, Houston being in the mix is incredibly relevant, but the Lakers being relevant again, having missed the playoffs for the last 5 years, it does just make your hair stand up on your skin. It gets you hyped and excited about the possibilities, recognizing Laker Nation, the tradition that the Lakers franchise has, and the fact that you can get a guy the magnitude of LeBron James to the second largest city in the United States, to Hollywood, Tinseltown, Venice Beach, Melrose, L.A. Live. The list goes on and on. To get a player of this magnitude, knowing that outside of Elgin Baylor, every single mega star that has ever played for the Los Angeles Lakers has captured a championship while wearing the purple and gold. It almost gives you goosebumps. It gets you going.
All right, so it pumps new blood into L.A., that's for sure. What does it do for the city of Cleveland as well as that Cavs franchise?
Well, it returns them to the dormant state of affairs that once existed before LeBron James arrived. There's no doubt about that, but in the same breath, it's going to be devoid of the level of vitriol they had when he first departed to take his talents to South Beach back in 2010. This time around, he came back to Cleveland to fulfill a promise that he had made to the franchise, to the city, to the Northern Ohio area that had been devoid of a championship in any sport for over a half century. And 2 years in, he delivered on that promise. 4 straight years, he took them to an NBA Finals. He owes them absolutely nothing. Everybody with sense there knows he owes them absolutely nothing. Plus, he fulfilled his promise. So when you take all of those things into consideration, it's a reason to lament things, but not have the vitriol and venom that you once had.
Yeah, he gave them something they never had before, and I have a feeling he will always be that area's favorite son. Stephen A. Smith, appreciate the time.